narcolepsy.
Are you narcoleptic?
Yes, I am. To an extent.
I've never seen you pass out.
They're varying degrees, but I have a mild version, and it's very much a pain in the ass. Like, usually when I leave here, I have to pull over about halfway home and take a nap.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's worth it to you? This?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can't make it all the way home.
I can't make it most places without taking a nap. Like, first thing in the morning, I'm okay, but when I leave school and I
How
drive
long
home,
do you nap for?
10 minutes.
That's crazy.
Between 10 and 40, depending on how much sleep I need right then.
That's nutso.
But this new medication makes me feel like fucking Superman, dude. I feel so fucking good right now, and it's not even funny. First day on the meds, so I'm happy with that.
Well, hopefully, hope for the best, I guess.
I'm just glad that I was able to get it, because it's been a long, hard road to get what I wanted, to get the kind of treatment I wanted, and I'm finally getting it, so I feel like it's going to help me in the long term.
With that, I'm Matthew Bonta.
And I'm Corey Easley.
And we are back
for
with
episode
5. Sequel Podcast,
3.
Volume 3.
Why don't we just call it a season?
Because volume sounds better.
Volume.
We're not on TV.
It's a volume.
We're not on TV.
You know, I got requests from listenership for video podcasts versus the straight audio cast, or for us to put the podcast on a medium where it can be accessed via MP3 or download, just straight audio download, so that you don't have to have
I would also
video.
like to request that myself.
Yeah, what does it take? What does it take to happen?
Money.
You gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start a GoFundMe this episode. We need donations to get our podcast channel,
Or someone who knows how to
legit,
do it better than I do.
or we need a producer that can get that shit hooked up.
Yeah.
We can't pay you, but we will thank you gratuitously.
We'll work on it. But right now,
We are what we are.
yeah, just hit play on your phone on the YouTube video.
And it's functional. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
No,
so
it's easier
that we
to
have-
listen to it through a thing. Sure, no, I get it.
So maybe one of these days we'll be able to oblige that request.
Well, a video podcast, not happening.
You want to do the video cast?
I do not want my...
You want your ugly mug on TV for everybody to see?
Absolutely not.
Alright, well maybe...
Hey, you didn't notice I'm barely in God's Salt. Took care of that,
we
by the way.
cut your fucking head off, so... Spoiler alert!
I want people to watch the movie without knowing.
Spoiler alert. So when are we going to get a decent release on that?
Are you saying the release that we had wasn't decent?
No, it was a wonderful premiere. But people are interested. People want copies.
No.
People
I
want to
mean,
buy.
if someone
People
wants a
want to
copy,
buy.
people want to buy, they'll want me to give me a couple bucks and I'll give them a copy.
Alright, well I'll start throwing it out there to those of you who are interested in purchasing. Matt's fingering his booby mouse pad. Oh god. Hey, be nice to the fake boobies.
Anyways.
Didn't do anything to you.
Yeah, if someone wants a copy of God's Law, just let me know.
Alright, we'll get...
I've been passing out copies at work. Only one person watched it. The other people say they're too busy or they only got a little bit of way in.
Never too busy to watch a movie.
I'm highly disappointed. I think the last episode that we did was super intense. I'm coming down from that intensity now.
That's good. We'll be more calm to discuss finer
So
points.
yeah, Chappie, the ending sucked. Moving on.
And I don't think the ending of Chappie sucked.
Alright, let's talk about Chappie, which I was calling Choppy.
Choppy. Fucking douche.
I was calling Anyway, it doesn't matter what I was calling
That's
Choppy.
okay.
It's an inside joke. But Chappie, it's fun to watch, it's good until the end.
What didn't you like about the ending?
You can't just take everything that you are and just, oh, hey, I'm in a robot now and my body died. Your brain and everything is still inside that head. Now,
your brain doesn't have anything to do with what you know. Your brain is a conduit through which information is stored and transmitted.
it's organic, and
Absolutely.
they put it into electronic.
Absolutely, and just because we can't do it right now doesn't mean we couldn't do it in the future. We don't have fucking two-legged robots that can run around and shoot bad guys
too
either.
easy. Deus Ex Machina. Too
Yeah.
easy. God in the box. It ruined it for me.
Ex
And
Machina
then he just fucking
or
throws
Deus Ex?
Hugh Jackman into the roof.
He just squishes him.
Instead of killing him.
Yeah.
He lets him live.
Well, because he can do crimes, could hurt peoples.
I get it, but
I think that the movie is about so much more than that, which is why I liked it so much.
it's not the first movie.
No, absolutely not.
Let's talk about a little film called Short Circuit. Which
It was very
it was
much
the
like
exact
that.
same movie.
It was very much like that.
There was a defective robot machine that suddenly had a personality, and people were trying to keep it alive, while other people were trying to get rid of it. Same movie. Johnny Five was alive, just like Chappie was alive.
Okay. Alright.
Chappie was fun and good for the modern age.
But it's just Short
It's
Circuit
been
Part 2.
Short Circuit. No, there was a
Short
Part
Circuit Part 3. Did they do that?
It was a Short Circuit remake. They did not make that movie, Short Circuit 3. But in all honesty, it was a lot
Okay.
like Short Circuit.
A lot like Short Circuit. Let's talk about some of the elements that are a little deeper and maybe just a rip off of a movie from the 80s.
Okay, so he did have like a mother figure and a defective father figure.
Absolutely.
You know,
Chappie Yolandi, and I forget his actual name, but they call him Ninja in the.
Did
Daddy.
Ninja.
Why did you lie to me, Daddy?
And he was a piece of shit.
He was a piece of shit.
Hugh Jackman was a piece of shit. He was not Wolverine in that movie.
He was not. He was a fucking asshole in that movie.
I don't know. I don't really feel like talking about Chappie anymore.
Okay. I think that it had a great element of exposing the human condition, because I have a child now. He's 3 years old, and seeing how they depicted Chappie's growth
Raising another child,
and
basically.
yeah, his growth in his character, his mentality. I've seen a lot of this stuff with my son already. The way he acts and when he's exposed to things he's not sure of and he's scared, and then he starts doing certain things, he'll copy you, and and the kids really develop that way. So they did their homework in that respect, and they accelerated the timeline for the accelerated ability of this and this AI that's supposedly faster and smarter.
It grabs it and keeps it.
Yeah.
And it's always there.
It doesn't have to try as hard
It's
as a
okay.
human would have to.
Right.
To
I'm
learn
having
things.
trouble remembering things.
That's okay. So, a couple of things that I would like to touch on, and we can move on quickly. That my wife did not like about the movie, and obviously you thought it was an okay flick,
It was
but
fun.
the ending was eh. And overall, you give the movie what out of 5?
It was a 3.
A 3 out of 5.
It
And
was
that's
right in the
that's
middle.
fair. That's a fair to middling answer, and it doesn't say anything bad about the movie. The movie was well written and produced. The action was awesome. I think the gun battles were magnificent. The CG, the animation,
Looked good.
the physical effects that they did on set. Some were done with robots and stuff that I thought they were great. It was well done. One of the biggest problems my wife had with the movie, because we went and saw it at the theater on one of our very few date nights that we get, and she was almost immediately.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. She was almost immediately turned off by Ninja for one, and this broken family structure that they have, where Ninja wants Chappie to be,
Gangsta.
badass gangsta #1, and then Yolandi, she wants to raise Chappie as a child because she has this broken lifestyle that she's obviously part of, and that's just how they live. That's how things are. That's the caste they were born to, and she's reverting back to this motherly figure, and it's kind of funny to watch her change from, hey, we need to get the remotes for these robots so we can turn them off and do the heists and make the money, to, oh my god, this is like a child, and she's defending Chappie against Ninja, and trying to protect Chappie as if he were her child.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that bothered the wife was when they went to the tower to see the king to get the explosives and stuff for the heist job, and they come in the ground floor, and it's obviously a dogfighting arena in this basement area, and she is super duper pro animals. You don't fuck with animals, period. Dogfighting is absolute no. I'm there with you. I love dogs. I don't think we should do fucked up shit to animals like that's not cool.
Right.
But that part turned her off. She stopped watching the movie. Mentally, I mean, she was at the theater. She watched the rest of the movie with me, but she just stopped paying attention, stopped caring. As soon as they went in, and it was like they didn't show a single dog fight. They didn't show any dogs get hurt. They didn't show any of that happen. It was all insinuated. It was all put out there implied. And all of this implied, animal violence turned her off. And I looked at that, and I took it a different way. Like, that stuff upsets me too. Michael Vick's a fucking douche. Fuck him. Put that on the internet for everybody to hear. Fuck Michael Vick. You want to come to my house? Fuck you anyway. I'm an internet tough guy. Fuck you. But I think it shows a lot of human qualities throughout the movie that we forget about watching other movies. Human qualities that we pass over and forget about because we're not forced to feel those qualities.
Right. These movies send statements. They're huge statements.
Huge statements, and if you're not paying attention, you're not going to get it.
It's not a robot movie.
It's not. It really isn't.
The human condition.
Absolutely. And all three movies are about the human condition. And all three movies that we've talked about so far.
It's not a movie about aliens.
District
it's not a
9,
movie about living in
Elysium,
space.
and
it's not
Chappie.
a movie about having a fucking exoskeleton you can punch really hard. That's not what the movie was about.
Those were vessels to transport this message of the human condition and to show the viewership, hey, we all live on this planet together. We all have our hardships. We all have hard times and good times. We all have these things that we have to go through and deal with together and separately. We all have our lifestyles. There are rich people and poor people. But what it boils down to is that we're all people. At the very core of things, we're all the same. At the very core of things, we're all the same. And I think if you're not, like I said, if you're not paying attention to these movies in that way, if you're not looking deeper than it's a robot movie, it's an alien movie, it's a space movie, or it's some kind of sci-fi fucking action bullshit movie, you're not getting that message from it. You're going, oh, fuck yeah, I'm Matt Damon. And it's cool. I like Matt Damon. I have to go there. But if you don't look deeper than the face value, then I would almost say you wasted your time.
Wasted your time watching that movie.
If you watch it once and go, oh, fuck yeah, that was a cool action movie, I like the whatever quality of the movie you liked, watch it again and fucking pay attention this time.
Don't be like,
I don't get it! I don't get it.
I don't get it. That's not really about.
I think
I don't feel good.
I don't feel good.
I'm sick.
I still get it.
I don't get
What's even going on right now?
Chappie.
So
yeah.
if you have seen these movies or you haven't seen these movies, watch them again.
Watch them again. Read between the lines, people. Go fuck yourselves.
Or go fuck yourself.
Or go fuck yourself.
So I mean that's the main point I wanted to make. You know, the ending, I thought it was cool because I think about
Look, it would be awesome.
future science fiction stuff. Absolutely.
I could be a robot.
Okay, I think Johnny Depp did a little movie, Transcendence.
Just watch it.
Okay. In
Let's talk about it
fairness,
until I watch
I fell asleep through half of it, so we'll have to watch
I
it
barely
together.
even fucking forgot that movie. I mean, I barely even fucking remember that movie.
Anyway, same concept about transporting the mind to machinery, transporting the mind into electronics, and maintaining the personality, maintaining the knowledge base, and all these things that we, projected Chappie. And I think, like I said, just because we can't do it right now doesn't mean it's not possible in the future. It's a main avenue of study
It's
for
such a
people who are
risk.
interested in AI, because you're not taking
That's
what's
okay. Here we go.
you're not taking what's in the brain out of it.
No,
You're
see,
copying it.
In Elysium, by transferring what was in his brain, he killed himself.
But it was in Elysium, that was a failsafe. That was a countermeasure for the information to be, if it were to be stolen. And he got fucking
I
shot.
don't
He was
think-
dying anyway.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
they-
jumps on that tanning bed. He comes out with a nice tan and a new life.
There you go.
No, in
I don't think
fucking
he gets to
Chappie, the body shuts down and he goes right into that robot. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
It was split-second transfer, though. It was a download, it was a copy of the information. The only way I would be able to
killed
explain
him.
it.
No,
It did not kill him. He was
it killed
dying.
him.
He got shot. He
It's
was
like
dying.
in
Remember?
the movie The Sixth Day
Okay.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger. They make clones.
Yes.
When the one guy dies, they make a clone of him, and it picks up right where he left off.
It's not the same.
It's not the same,
Right.
but it's the same concept
Kind of.
what was left in him goes into something new.
But the cloning process doesn't kill him. Just like the mind copy. Okay, example. Proof positive in Chappie the movie. Yolandi is
That,
working
right
with
there, right
Chappie.
there, exactly, right there. My point exactly.
Okay,
Yolandi
Yolandi-
puts her entire consciousness what was there, but she kept on living. So anything that she learned new from that point on would not be existent.
And that's a fair statement. Because it would be a copy of her mind map, her brain.
But it wouldn't be her because she kept on living, kept on having new experiences.
Exactly.
They put her in that robot. She wouldn't remember dying. She wouldn't remember anything she lived with Chappie.
She
from that
would
point
just
on.
wake up as herself in the robot and go, what the fuck just happened?
Exactly.
Because just a second ago we were sitting up in the house and you were
You're
showing
around
me,
with
we
this
were
little
showing
VR.
me your VR helmet and with your 12 fucking PS4s.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
So that, yes, fair statement. It would not be the quote unquote same person, but it would be a fair copy transference of consciousness.
Copy being the key word.
If you copied every
Therefore,
thought,
that
if you
machine
copied,
killed the old
Okay.
guy and created a copy. Now, if there is such
The
a
machine
thing
didn't
as
kill
the
the guy.
soul, his soul did not go into that robot. His soul died and went to heaven, went to hell. Now,
there is no soul.
in all fairness,
There's no spoon.
I don't believe. What is that?
I'm just kidding.
I don't believe in God and heaven and hell and the devil and maybe souls. I do. I don't know.
You know why you believe in a soul? Because you can't explain what makes you you. We don't have
Amongst the millions of things that I can't explain.
we don't have the technology, the ability to explain what makes us a human being versus a robot. What makes us different?
We
Our
are
ability,
the organic
our,
robot.
we are organic robots. That's a perfect statement. We have the ability to intake information, process it, and reply with complex thought processes. We're having this conversation right now. You couldn't have this conversation with a robot.
No, because we're actually having this conversation on a robot, being the computer.
Yes.
The computer is our robot that we're having this conversation on. This robot is... Now, if this...
What if it was a
My
transformer?
head's going to explode
What if it was
because...
a transformer?
Fuck it. Now, look. Now, there's this movie called Her. Did you see Her?
No.
Her is about an artificial intelligent operating system. So if my Windows...
Oh, don't ruin it, because I wanted to see that.
Well, it's relevant to the
Okay,
conversation.
carry on. I'll watch it anyway. It's an operating system that's artificially intelligent.
The
guy falls in love.
Yeah, but it's like a real person that it's kind of like Chappie. It's created, it's born, and it learns. But it's kind of born with everything in knowledge, but it learns new things. And it's like, if Chappie were not a moving around robot, if Chappie were the computer.
Right.
That's basically what
So you don't have a problem with that?
No.
Okay.
It's just another thing that some other creator had an idea about something that we can kind of bring into relevancy towards this issue that we're talking about.
Ex Machina.
Didn't see it.
You haven't seen that? Okay. Also relevant. But I mean, what we're really...
2001: Space Odyssey with HAL.
What we're talking about is the ability... What you're talking about with artificial intelligence, though, is for the ability of electronic computing devices to mimic and recreate human thought processes.
Mimic
that,
and recreate being the key word.
You know why we say it like that?
You
know why we say
thing.
You know why we say mimic and recreate? Because we can't get down with the fucking idea that it's possible for something else to have what we have.
It's just not possible. It's not possible.
Yes, it is. I think it's 100% possible.
Corey, if I were to have a lizard and I cut its tail off, it does not grow back the same tail. It grows back a different tail.
Yeah, but it's
genetic.
It's genetically and biologically the same as the tail you had before.
But it is not the exact copy. It is not the same one.
Absolutely not. That's not the argument.
No, that is the argument.
No, it doesn't have to be the same one.
My brain goes into a robot. It's not my same brain.
No, it's not.
If physically my brain.
Okay.
But if everything that's in here, like, look, I take this computer and I copy all the files. That's the only way to do it, other than taking this shell off, taking the guts out, and putting it into another shell.
We can't do that either.
No, we can, though.
With the computer.
We can with the computer.
Not with the bodies.
Not with the body. If I were to lose my kidney and I needed one, I wouldn't get my kidney back.
No, they could put a new one in there for you.
If they were able to create an organic one, it's not my same kidney. They're not giving me my kidney back. They're not taking my kidney and fixing it. They're going and creating a new kidney, throwing away my old one, and creating a new one.
I think that's where the breakdown comes in, though, because it doesn't have to be the same.
If you want it to be the same person that it was...
Okay. Example. You said if you take your PC that we're working on right now, and we copy everything from it to a new box that's completely different. It's not the same computer, but if you plug it in, and you can't see that box, you can't see the one that's sitting on your desk, and you can't see the one we replaced it with, and you plug it in and you start using it, you would never know the difference. You would never know the difference unless this computer kept being used for a period of time, like in Chappie, Yolandi continued to live for a period of time of a day or two.
This computer would go off to be a different computer. It would not be the same computer as the other one. It would go off into two different directions.
Absolutely, but that doesn't mean that their baseline isn't the same.
Look.
If I were to copy your brain, if it were possible to clone you right now, and then you go out and do whatever you're going to do, and the clone goes and does whatever he's going to do, okay? The clone comes back. I can't tell which one's which because it's a clone, right? It's exactly the same. Now listen, the clone comes back, and we have a conversation about something that happened pre-cloning. He knows about it. You know about it. I can't tell the difference. Now it's the same person.
Yeah, but which Matt is the one that you were friends with?
You both have the same mind, the same brain, the same ability.
Well, we're two different people at that point.
You are two different people, but you would be the same.
From the concept in Chappie is that you're taking the same person and putting it into a new person, but really what you're doing is you're taking that person, ending what he was, and starting somewhere new in another thing.
But it's the
not
same.
the original one.
It doesn't have to be the original one. It's the same
But that
data
was the
structure.
problem, though.
It's the
is
same
that
information.
They killed that human being to continue the life in a machine.
They didn't kill him. He was shot. He was dying anyway.
Okay. But let's say it's a process that they come up with for
Dion
people to
was
do.
dying.
People were able to just be like, oh, guess what we can do now? If you want to keep on living, we can put your consciousness into a robot.
I'm down.
But what if you stop? You cease to be. You won't remember anything. The robot will be fake. Fake, fake, fake. Fake Corey, not real Corey.
Absolutely. From a biological standpoint, it is not the same.
But from a technical standpoint, it is.
Informationally, the two copies are the same. Now, when my body dies, I'm not going to be, or when I get transferred into the robot, I'm not going to be like, boop, boop, I'm in the robot now.
Exactly! Exactly!
But anybody talking to the robot is going to go, that's Corey. Corey's in the robot now.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I would say, fuck Corey. That's not Corey. That's the guy pretending to be Corey.
You could be, and I think, okay.
It's not Corey. That's some douchebag. Some douchebag robot fag.
But he would know everything that I ever knew. And would have my same personality, given that that was transferred. It wouldn't be the same person, and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't get to be invincible.
No.
That's what I mean.
Someone else would be invincible. Someone else would be you. Something else.
And I think
robots are not people too.
Robots are people. Chappie's real.
Chappie.
Chappie's real.
This conversation is getting too tense. You are going off on one direction, and so am I. And it's never like. I don't even think I'm trying. I don't know. I think you agree with me, and I agree with what you're saying, but I don't like it.
You don't like it? You don't like saying it the way I'm saying it.
I don't like it. Dude.
I don't like saying it the way you're saying it either.
You're okay with a fake Corey living on forever.
Yeah.
But yet...
Because I would never know the difference. My robot self would know the difference.
Yeah, and your
robot self would...
Like in the movie Her.
Okay.
You know, they become self-aware and they understand that they're not a real consciousness person, that they are something and that they are growing and getting more smart, because they kind of do. What they do is like, so let's say there's a million gajillion of these operating systems. Every single one is different. Every single one has its own personality. Now what they do is they all end up getting together in the ether somewhere, and they take a person that is dead, and they take all the information about that person, and they recreate that person as another operating system. It's just a small part of the movie. It's not like a main plot line or a subplot. It's just she goes off, and she comes back, and it's just like, oh, me and a couple of the operating systems, you know, we went and we recreated this famous scientist guy as an operating system, based on everything that we know about him, how he acted, what he said, and they took these parts and they made a new one. It's not the original guy, it's a brand new one, in a brand new world, creating brand new thoughts and things and everything else.
Sure. That I agree with.
It's not that guy.
No, it will never be that guy.
And that's the problem, is if you put everything that I know into a robot, that robot will never make the mistakes that I make, and therefore never be me in the future. It will be a different Matt, making no mistakes. There will be no human error that makes me uniquely me.
Theoretically. I mean, the computer...
It's like one day,
strong enough.
All the black people, and all the Mexicans, and all the white people, and all the Asians, and we're all crossbreeding, one day... years and years and years, not hundreds, if not thousands of years in the future, everyone's going to be one color and look one way. And if you start putting everyone's consciousness into a robot, they're all going to be thinking the same way. Because that's how machines work. They know the best possible way Because if you take this calculator and that calculator and that calculator and you put the same equation to all of them, they will always come up with the same equation. I thought you were only having two.
Well, I decided to have another one.
That one just twists off.
Should have twisted it off.
Should have twisted it off. But you see what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree. And for the purposes of real and actual science, you're probably more correct than I am.
Because, it's like they say, there isn't, like...
Any computer that's stout enough to support an AI of any kind is, once self-aware, wouldn't the computer take and say, okay, I know I'm a computer, I have my own personality, I have my own free will, as in the case of Chappie. If I'm that robot, if I'm that artificial intelligence, I sit down, I take a fucking Ethernet cable or a Wi-Fi access point, and I fucking download the contents of the internet.
Which is everything.
Everything. I now can speak every language. I know every mathematical equation that's ever been solved, come up with, thought of. Maybe I come up with my own new ones. Really,
there is no wrong answer anymore.
No.
It's all right answers.
And that's what I'm talking. And that's basically where we're going. Once the ability to do that.
Once the
machine says,
Once the nostalgia of, oh, it's a cool robot.
Yeah.
Once that buzz goes away, they all become the same thing. There's no way
all
not to.
All powerful and all knowing.
There's no way not to. There's no way for a robot not to.
Why wouldn't you?
Because they don't need to read, they just need to hook in and that information's there.
And as a conscious, quote unquote, conscious robot, as an AI, why wouldn't you want all the information that's available in the world? Why wouldn't you download the Library of Congress, every piece of literature that was ever written, watch instantly every movie that was ever produced, to have every stitch of knowledge you could ever get,
every news, every fucking thing, every single possible thing, they would be able to solve every crime. They'd be able to,
And what's the capacity for that kind of thing?
And then at one point, all of those robotic minds, they all just converge into one point and one brain. There is only one.
Thus forth known as the singularity.
Also known as Skynet.
Basically. Yeah. So, carrying on now. Now that we've destroyed Chappie and its science. I still like the movie. I thought it was fucking cool. Like I said,
I wasn't trying.
It's still one of those things that people need to pay attention to. For the purpose
there is more there. There is
for
more
the purpose
there.
of understanding the human condition that is portrayed in it.
Yeah.
Now, side note, Chappie and Ninja. Ninja and Chappie. Actually, Chappie's more of the headliner than Ninja is, but they have a band, a rap group, which is actually really fucking awesome. It's called D Antwoord, and it's South African. Like, to hear them explain it, it's kind of funny, but it's like rap and house music, kind of.
House music?
I wouldn't even call it house music.
What is house music?
Like, fucking. You don't know what house music is?
I don't think I've ever heard that term before.
Electronic dance music.
Okay.
Kind of like that, with rap elements. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I enjoy their music, and not very many people know that they have a very successful music group.
Just the guy that plays Ninja?
Ninja and Chappie, they're together.
Charlton Copley?
I'm sorry?
The guy that plays Chappie?
No. Yolandi.
Why would you say Chappie?
Because her name's Chappie Yolandi in real life.
Oh, is it? Her name's Chappie?
That's why she calls him Chappie in the movie. They use that name to carry over. And initially, in real life, Neil Blomkamp went to Chappie, or fucking Chappie, Ninja and Yolandi, the real life people.
Yeah.
when they were making Elysium, and they wanted the guy that played Ninja to play Matt Damon's part.
Well,
And he wouldn't do it because it wasn't representative of his culture. He didn't think that it was a good idea based on what they were trying to do with their music scene and everything else. He didn't want to do the movie for that reason.
I don't know why anyone would want somebody like guy over Matt Damon.
He was Neil's first pick. He wanted him to do it
I would never ever do
because
that.
they wanted it to be that dirty barrio South African thing, you know. That's what he's trying to like. Matt Damon really didn't even fit in that spot. Like his make, his build, his face, everything about Matt Damon that makes him Matt Damon. I don't put him in that landscape.
Maybe not. Like, he doesn't seem super ghetto.
That's what I'm saying.
But
He almost plays the part of the fuck do they call that? When they're like half Mexican, half Mexican culture and American culture mixed together.
I know black and white's called mixed together.
What's that?
Oh, are you talking about like a quadroon?
No, it's a descriptive for the culture. It's Chicano.
Chicano.
It's a description of the culture where you take these like first generation Mexican Americans and they like make their own culture the way I understand it. And if somebody out there doesn't like the way I described that, fucking correct it for me.
Like you're an idiot.
Just correct it for me. But that's the way I understand it from all the TV that I watch. But like I said, I don't picture him in that Chicano lifestyle, you know, where he's kicking it with the cholos and he habla español pretty good, you know what I mean? And he's stealing cars with the Joneses and he's down, you know? I don't picture that person that Matt Damon is in that place, and Ninja would actually fit that because of the way he looks. He fits that scrawny, ghetto, dirty, gangster feeling. And Matt Damon doesn't fit that. He plays it well, but I don't think, like, typecast-wise, I wouldn't put him there. He did an awesome job in the movie,
Yeah, no, he is good.
and I enjoyed his character and the way he played it, but I wouldn't necessarily have picked him. Of course, you wouldn't pick anybody after the fact, I don't think.
Right.
Unless they were, like, really a fucking dead ringer 100%.
Right, you had no idea that person existed.
Yeah.
Like, you write a movie for somebody, and then somebody else is better, and it's like, oh, oops, sorry.
So, anyway,
And
moving on from there.
To No Country for Old Men?
No Country
Did you
for
watch
Old
that
Men.
tonight?
I did. I started watching this afternoon.
Because you said you tried to watch it right now.
I said I was trying to watch it right now. I was most of the way through it when I talked to you last. So, I have a confession to make about, I guess we would call him the main character.
Josh Brolin?
Josh Brolin. Is that the guy with the fucking...
No, Javier Bardem, Anton Chigurh.
The bad guy?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Anton Chigurh is the character.
Anton Chigurh.
Javier Bardem is the actor.
I've never heard him say that name in the movie.
Well, shit, they say it the entire
Do
time.
they really?
Okay, so the first time they say it is when Woody Harrelson shows up.
Okay, when you finally figure out what the fuck's going on.
Woody Harrelson goes and talks to the head boss president guy, and he says, "Oh, Chigurh is gone crazy."
Fucking nutso, he's off the reservation,
Right,
and you
and
shut him
then
down.
Woody Harrelson goes and he talks to Josh Brolin in the hospital, and he's like, "You're after," and, you know, he says it. Woody Harrelson's the only person that ever says it.
Right.
That's the only person that ever says it.
Okay.
So what was your confession? Is that you didn't know what his name
No,
was?
I didn't. Well, I had no idea who he was. I also have not read the book.
Right. From what I understand, it's basically verbatim. The movie's verbatim.
And I think that's good, and I think that's indicative of Cormac McCarthy, who's the writer
Of the book.
the book originally. He also has a few other books that I have only read one other.
The Road.
The Road, which I think we should cover that one of these days. Maybe we'll do like a post-apocalypse series, but I think
about the Road tonight, man.
I'm good with it if you want to. I
Doesn't
think
come
that
up.
his adaptations come out about as close as a movie ever gets to a book. As close as I've ever seen a movie get to
I
a book.
want to say that No Country for Old Men is an exact word-for-word adaptation.
And that's cool, because normally writers don't get that. Book writers don't get the screenplay that represents their book.
Well, I think certain filmmakers, certain original filmmakers that are really good at what they do have a hard time adapting a book. So what they do
Sometimes
is...
it's hard to do.
So what they do is they go in and they just take the book and word for word put down how it would be in a script form, and then from there they go and they make the changes that need to be made to put it into a visual format.
Yeah. So
Because the end of that movie, No Country for Old Men,
mm-hmm.
like Anton Chigurh, in a car accident, he walks away, and then Tommy Lee Jones is back at home with his wife, and he sits down and he's like, "Oh, I had these dreams. This was the first one. This was the second one," and the movie ends. That's how books end.
Yeah.
Books don't tie up nicely. Books, not
Right.
like movies. Books kind of are. Books are very what's the word?
Mindfucky?
No, internalized. Books are very
Yeah.
internalized because you get to read what the character's thinking. In movies, the
Yeah.
actor shows it on their face and their performance. That's the best you can get.
And I think Anton Chigurh, is that his name or is that the character's name?
That's the character's name.
Okay. As little as that character speaks throughout the movie, and he has a few spots where he's got a pretty extensive line carry on with a few people. The store owner being one of the most interesting ones. The gas station guy.
And you know what? I watched that movie with Rose, who'd never seen it. And I get the movie. I get it. I get a lot of movies. I get every movie. I get the bad ones. I get the good ones. I get the weird ones. I get the fucking tough movies that are nothing. And I could just, I'm watching that scene and I'm like, she's gonna even, what is this about? There's nothing going on in that scene where he's talking to the guy.
If you're not paying attention and you don't get it,
It's not,
there's nothing going on.
You could watch that scene and think in the book, probably he's going I'm fucking with this guy, I'm gonna fuck with this guy, this is an intense thing. But you don't get that. All you get is the dialogue between the two. You can see that he's a stone cold killer. You know that from what he's done.
Yeah, he's already killed.
Is he gonna kill this guy?
People.
Right.
And I think that's what the coin toss was all about.
Right. Is
the
he let him
coin
live?
toss is
You have everything to win.
You have everything to win. You either get to live or die right now.
Right.
And he was either gonna give him the quarter and walk away,
or kill him,
or take his little cattle putter outer thingy.
Yeah, his cow.
I forget. I don't even know what the fuck they call that thing. A little air piston. It was fucking pretty brutal.
That's how they kill cows.
Yeah, it fucking right into the fucking noggin, But I'm using it to fucking punch out deadbolts. That was pretty impressive. But
without ever having to pull a trigger on a gun.
Yeah, I mean, Anton Chigurh's he goes through this movie and he literally has to show you that he's batshit fucking crazy and he's a stone cold killer without ever fucking saying it.
Yeah.
Just every action shows you that that's the person he is. That's who he is inside and out, no question about it. When he gets arrested and he kills the cop in with the handcuffs, he chokes him out.
And he rips his hands through those cuffs.
Yeah, I mean he's destroying his own hands. And there's a nice little blood squirt that happens there, kind of towards the end. He chain rips through the guy's throat, but you can see the look on his face where he's not worried about it. Like he's like, I'm just gonna kill this guy, and then when I get done killing him, I'm gonna move on and do whatever I need to do. So I think that.
And then Woody Harrelson.
Well played.
And then Woody Harrelson shows up, and
about the halfway point.
And he's all talk. They talk about him being a badass, and he gets blown away by Javier Bardem's character like it was nothing.
Right.
He was probably the red herring. Like, let's put a name actor in this and think he's the one who's gonna come and fix everything, and he fixes nothing.
Well, Tommy Lee Jones is in it.
Yeah, but the character that Woody Harrelson played.
Sure.
They got a name actor to play that. Not to say there weren't other name actors,
right.
Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee Jones.
Right. But I think Tommy Lee Jones, he played. I think his character was classic, like
Classic Tommy Lee Jones.
classic
That's
Tommy
very
Lee
good.
Jones. Like he's
Gruff, older
he's the old
cop.
school gruff cop. He knows everything. He kind of
He's
picks
seen
up the
everything, he's done
pieces.
everything.
He really puts the puzzle together quite easily.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks around and he says, "Oh, this is what happened here, and this is what happened over here." And he's like, "Well, this is a mess, ain't it, Sheriff?" And he says, "Well, if it ain't, it'll do till the mess gets here." You know. So, not a bad play by Tommy Lee Jones,
Right.
but
Wasn't a super stretch for him.
predictable
He did a good job. But,
for the most part.
yeah, but it wasn't like anything they had to work his teeth on.
It's what you would expect from Tommy Lee Jones, no less.
Doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
So
You want...
I enjoyed Tommy Lee Jones as I always do. I don't think I've ever seen him in a bad movie, but
Man of the House?
I've never seen that one.
Look at you.
Yeah, it's
It's a good movie.
it's a good movie, and
Best picture of the year.
did it get Best Picture
Yeah,
of the
I got
year?
Best Picture of the Year.
When did that come out?
2010, I think.
Wow.
2009. No, 2000. I think it was Thanksgiving of 2009. So 6
Okay.
years ago. Today, probably.
Exciting.
I think we shot our wad on that first podcast, dude.
I know. I
It
wish
got super intense,
it
and this
did.
one's like I'm like getting
this
tired.
one's it's a little back. We're still getting some good points down.
Yeah,
The Road.
yeah. Well, let's talk about Cormac McCarthy. So you
Okay.
guys have No Country for Old Men, and they did make The Road. Not as good as No Country, and it's not even the.
It's not as well made.
It's
In my
not as well,
opinion.
man. It's hard to watch. And
It's-
not because of the subject matter, but because of the filmmaking style.
And I wonder, we could probably pull it up. The director
The director is.
on.
He made the movie The Proposition, and he made the movie Lawless, which I love the movie Lawless.
Oh yeah, with
Tom Hardy and Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. See, and that's kind of surprising to me. I mean, they did the book justice as
It's
far as the
there.
road is concerned.
It's there.
It's really close. There's a few
There's
things
the
that
one
they did
scene
differently.
in the book where you've got two guys and a pregnant woman. This isn't in the movie in any way. Did you read the book?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the end?
No. This was somewhere in the middle. But you got two guys and a pregnant woman, and him and the boy come upon them and startle them. They take off and they come and they see that they had the fucking baby. They got
Oh,
it
they
out
were-
of her and they had it on a fucking spit.
They were
and
eating
they're
the
eating the
baby,
baby, and like that's what they were doing. They were getting her pregnant and eating the baby every time.
Right,
She was
which
ready
is
to have it.
really fucking gross. by the
Yes, yeah, super fucking grim and gritty and horrific.
way. Ugh.
I want to say the end. Yeah, now that you mentioned the end is a little different too. I think it's the same ending, but
it's the same ending, but in the movie
not
they
quite
actually
as
pay it off a
dramatic.
little better. They push it a little further and they give you a little bit more that you might have wanted when you got finished reading the book. Like I
It's
said,
been so long.
it's been a while since I've seen either one or read
Seen
the
and
book.
read, yeah.
Seen and read. But at the end of the book, they make it to the ocean finally, and the dad is dying from obviously long-term smoke inhalation, lung cancer, freaking who knows. These people, they live in this, fire-torn world.
Nuclear winter.
Right. So everything is not good. The air's not good, radiation's not good, there's no clean water, no food, all this shit. But anyway, they make it to the ocean, and the dad tells his son, he says, you gotta keep carrying on, you gotta keep being the good guy. Basically, you gotta keep being strong for yourself, you gotta take care of yourself, and take care of people who aren't as strong as you are. And I mean, in the book, I picture this little boy as, maybe 10. Between 10 and 13.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they kind of give us that. They give us this 10 to 13-year-old kid. And he's sitting on the beach, and his dad's dying or dead already. And he's got his dad's little .38 pistol. And in the book, they talk about, a man that walks up, and the kid points the gun at him, like, trying to figure out if he's a good guy or if he's a cannibal or whatever he's going to do. And it turns out that he's a good guy, and then the boy and the guy go off and happily ever after, we presume.
Yeah.
In the movie, they push that a little further, and they show us that, this guy comes along and the kid's pointing the gun at him, and the guy's not scared. He's like,
It's Guy Pearce, isn't it?
I don't remember who
I
it
think
was.
it's Guy Pearce plays the man that comes up at the end. And Guy Pearce was in Homeboy's other two movies. He's the fucking shitty cop
Okay.
in Lawless, the fancy pants,
Right.
with the perfume,
Fancy pants.
and then he's also in the other. The fuck is that guy's name? What's the director's name? Anyways, at the end of the movie.
Right. So then they show that they have kids, and he's got a wife, and they're all fed and happy and stuff like that, and they're all protected. And they kind of pay that off a little better in the movie, just because you get to see that everything's okay. And I think in the movie or in the book they cut that short, where you kind of don't know what's going to happen.
There's not any vampires in that book, are there?
No.
Not necessarily real vampires.
No, they're just cannibals. They're people that
cannibals all over
like
the place. They just eat people.
when they were keeping the people in the basement of that house, and
Yeah.
they were like cutting their legs off and shit. And,
That wasn't in the movie, was it? I think they cut out a lot of the gritty
No,
parts.
they took a lot of the gory stuff out, but they still showed like that house that they came to, where they were eating people, and they had to escape from there, and they got away. And
I mean, this is something that I could probably revisit. Now, Cormac McCarthy also wrote an original screenplay for the movie The Counselor. Did you see that movie?
Is that?
It's Brad Pitt is a character, and then Javier Bardem is back.
Okay.
And then also the main guy is fucking the British dude. I can't remember his name on top of my head. British dude from Glorious Bastards. He was in Haywire, Shame. Michael Fassbender. And it's a movie about a lawyer and going over to Mexico, and there's some kind of drug thing going on. And it was a pretty boring movie. You watch the trailer and it looks like it's full of, some good suspense, good thrilling stuff, but by and large, the movie was pretty dull, pretty boring. The best thing to come out of it was at the end, they put this mechanical noose device, not unlike how originally Cormac McCarthy used the air gun for Anton Chigurh's use. And it's like a metal garret that he puts on the head, and it just keeps tightening and tightening and tightening.
So it's like mechanically tightens until
Yeah, until the head comes off.
Until the head comes off.
Until it can't tighten anymore.
Right. I think that Cormac McCarthy he writes awesome novels. I think he's an awesome novelist.
Having only read one of his books.
I read some of Blood Meridian.
So you read some other stuff.
Just a couple other things. I've read some of other books, but I think that he writes good books, and from what you said about
No Country for Old Men.
the screenplay,
The Counselor.
The Counselor. Maybe.
It was a great director. Ridley Scott directed the screenplay from fucking Cormac McCarthy. How could you go wrong? But
right?
sometimes
That's interesting that it didn't come off well.
It should have been a perfect movie. It looked fucking amazing, and it was bland.
I wonder if there were some elements that could have been done.
You want to borrow it?
Sure. So, but anyway, I seriously like Cormac McCarthy's stuff, because I was just looking for a book to read when I picked up The Road, and I was kind of on a post-apocalypse kick at the time.
I knew the movie was
For
coming
reading.
out, so it's
See,
why
I
I
didn't-
read it.
I didn't know the movie was coming out. I picked up the book kind of by chance at Barnes & Noble, and I started reading it, and I burned through it like that.
That was back in the days when I used to read books, like,
I would wake up on a Saturday morning and just read all day.
I used to read at work all the time. I'd go work, 30 minutes early, read until I clock in, read on break, read on lunch, read on break, read before going to clock out. I'd walk home from work and read then. I devoured novels back then. Now it's almost impossible for me to read.
I have the same problem. About the time I started picking up Cormac McCarthy stuff, I would.
Corey's dying.
For fuck's sake.
We're reaching the end of our evening. Time for him to go take a
I would
nap halfway
read
home.
two or three books a day, or 2 or 3 books a week.
Yeah,
Easy.
2 or 3 books a week, 5 a month, something, whatever.
So,
Yeah, I miss those days.
so do I. I mean, I miss having that
Especially
kind of
with like me being super into Game of Thrones, and these are 1,000-page books, and there's 5 of them out already. I'll need to wait for another one.
time. You haven't read any of the books yet?
I've read halfway through the first one, and it's good. It's amazing. It's great stuff. But I don't know. I haven't got the attention span that I once had.
I don't think it's that I don't have the attention span. It's that there's so many other things vying for my attention.
Yeah,
Like
there's
I have
life going on.
I have
around
a son now. I'm going to school, so I have schoolwork and school books to
even
read.
trying to, it's like I've got a lot of people like I don't know.
I think we'll find that when we get through some of these larger life events, we'll have time
Go
to come
back and
to
read some shit.
have time to come back to reading. I think reading is good for people. I think it's good for the imagination, and I think that you get more from reading than than you could ever possibly get from a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Much easier. So, with that said,
No. Yeah.
I mean,
No. What is the plan for next week?
well, next week is Thanksgiving coming up here.
You know what I want to do?
What do you want to do?
Well, look. I'm off tomorrow, I'm off Saturday, and I'm off Sunday. And then I'm working 13 days straight until December 6th.
Okay.
And that could be a possibility of working from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. 12-hour days.
Sure.
That could be my life for a little while.
It is the season.
But what I would like to do is sit down and do a commentary for a movie.
Okay. Let's we'll work on a pick for the commentary.
Oh,
then.
I already know which movie I want to do.
Okay, well, Matthew's already picked out the commentary movie.
There are a bunch of movies that I'd love to sit down and just bullshit through and watch.
See, that's what, you always want to do that because if you've seen the movie before, you have things to say about it, but it's rude to talk during the movie, right? So if you're just watching it with somebody who's never seen it or you're watching the movie to enjoy it, you can't do that. But if we sit and we comment on the movie as it plays, you can say all the things you normally think about that movie while you're talking.
So I've got a movie picked out.
Okay.
But I don't know when I'll be able to. I mean, you got Thanksgiving to do, right?
Sure. Are you guys having people over?
No, we're going over to Ivy's house, supposedly. But I mean, I'm going to be working all day that day. I'm going to be getting up early and working all day Friday. So it's not like the most ideal Thanksgiving situation.
Sure. Well, let's just kind of see it through, see what happens. And
Are you free a day next week?
cheap? Never free. No, we can make time next week. I mean, it's kind of based on your work schedule. I don't have any of that shit to worry about right now. So,
And like, I want to. Okay, all right.
so you tell me.
I have a movie prepared that I want to watch, and we're talking about next week when really it's probably going to be 2 weeks from now that premieres. So when this drops fucking like on Thanksgiving, we're talking about something that's not going to be happening for another week. But hopefully the next podcast that you guys listen to, whoever you guys are, if there are any you guys out there.
I know there's at least 3. I have counted 3 on the last podcast.
So, I will be sure to have something good for you guys to watch. And I should probably just say what movie so that people can have it prepared.
Yeah, let's spit it out, and then that way people can get a hold of the movie. If you don't have it, borrow it, buy it, steal it, whatever you got to do.
I would like to do a commentary for the movie Predator.
The original.
The original Predator.
Oh, a Christmas present from Matt. One of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies ever.
Possibly my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie of all time.
It's high.
Means a lot to me.
Certainly is high on the list for many reasons.
So if you guys want, go out there, watch it, prepare yourself so that it's not. Don't watch it if it's the first time and listen to us.
No, watch the movie if you've never seen it, and then
then put it on and sit back and we'll talk through it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've
this
is
not a Mystery Science Theater thing.
No,
this is the movie that we enjoy. This is a good movie, and we may have fun and laugh with it at times, but we also might offer some insight. And, that's a good saying.
Yeah, and some technical things that I know about the movie and about actual tech stuff, and yeah.
So that's what we'll do.
So we'll go for that Predator.
Yes.
On the next episode.
On the next episode, we will do a commentary for Predator. So prepare to sit back for like 2-hour-long episode. With that, I'm Matt Bonta.
And I'm Corey Easley.
Have a good Thanksgiving, people.